that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast to the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast to the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom, that has come to me. Happiness comes, that has come to me. Running fast for the edge of my life, Jesus saved me now. washed away my sins. You washed away my sins. You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good. What is it today? Afternoon. That's the one. Good afternoon. Ladies, gentlemen, days and gays, this is your boy Hunter. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're safe. Hope you're well. Because we've got 3 black people here. Brandon is running late because he's on CP time apparently. So we'll talk to him in a second. But I am stoked to have a first-time guest. He is the man who has his own podcast, which we will have to talk about here. But he does all of the music for the Real Pineapple. Got Jamarco here. Jamarco, how you doing, sir?
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. First time joiner, long time listener. So it's very, I feel very privileged to be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for making the time. I appreciate it. How are you, man? How's your day?
I'm good. It's a Monday. Grown adult, boring stuff. Life of your 30s. When you're off of work, just kind of just work on shit, just paying bills and rent. That's my life.
Dude, I feel that, man. I've been I was talking to a couple people about, they're like, yeah, dude, like you're still not working. And I was like, yeah, to be real, I haven't really been looking to be honest. That's gonna change next month. I do want to try to be working by like January, but I'll be real, man. Like, I've talked about it a little bit on the pod, but yeah, got laid off a few months ago. First time since I was 18 that I haven't had a job, so it's been very weird. And I've had my good days and bad days. I had a very rough day last Friday. Had a nice breakdown about 3 minutes before a film interview I had to do, but it actually led to a really great conversation with the director. So it weirdly worked out. But okay, he wasn't too late. Brandon, what's up, man?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm getting water.
I was just about to text you too.
I was like, I gave you an extra 15 minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm bad with time.
Well, yeah, no, I was letting the audience know it's CP time, so that's why.
Of course, yeah. On time, actually.
Exactly. But Brandon, how are you, man?
I am doing quite well, my friend. I cannot complain today.
Oh well,
except,
you say that, but
yeah, but I can complain a little bit.
We'll find something.
We all could, Matter of fact, 15 minutes of complaining. Everybody go nuts.
Honestly, that actually segues perfectly because I don't think since you haven't done a stream, Brandon's done several. So we actually have this thing called Soapbox Corner where I allow my guests to go ahead and we allow people to go ahead because this is a safe space. The Real Pineapple is all about about being a safe place. So
I love it.
So I actually want to go ahead and I want to hear what Jamarco's first time guest, so he'll get first crack. Is there anything you need to get? Is there anything you need to get off your chest, Jamarco? Anything you want to rant about? Like again, safe space.
So many things, Hunter. So many
Well, where do you want to start?
But I will start with. That's a great question. I'm gonna talk about customer service. I'm gonna talk about banks today. I don't like banks that much. I don't like dealing with banks at all. And when your money is looking funny, they start calling you. They start asking questions like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like, yeah, I just work at Arby's. I'm fine. They're like, well, just make sure you pay your money because your account's looking weird. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. So they called me like 3 times a day. So To everybody watching, if you have to work minimum wage, don't get a food job. As under, we're all looking for jobs. Don't get a food job. I could talk about Arby's, but that would take a whole nother story. But there's a lot to soapbox about. The elections in 2 weeks.
Man,
it's scary times. Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom. Nobody knows what's happening anymore. There's just too much weird shit going on in America, and I don't like it. Donald Glover had to cancel his tour. I'm still sad about that.
Still very sad.
That one hurts. Like
Shout out to Donald. Hope you're feeling better. But I was really looking forward to seeing you. That was my birthday present. But you're busy. You're fine. It's whatever. But just PSA to the world, to whoever's watching a real pineapple, just take care of yourself. Your mental shit's getting spooky out here. I'm not just talking about Halloween. It's just a very to be alive.
Man.
That's corner, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that's perfectly said. So I haven't updated the overlay graphic, which bad me. I didn't go to sleep till like 4 this morning, people. Cut me a little slack. Well, so I was up. So I finished Witch's Ghost last night.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at 7. Then I watched Longlegs. And then I just finished watching Lisa Frankenstein. So I've been like, that's what's so funny. Like, with me not working, I've ironically been as busy, if not busier.
Exactly.
With podcast shit.
So side hustle. There you go.
Oh yeah. No, trust me, I would much rather be conducting film interviews than being yelled at by customers about t-shirts. So like trust me, I'm grateful. But I mean, as far as like something I'll throw down, I'm gonna be real, y'all. Like, okay, so am I worried about the election? Kinda. And I say kinda because my internal optimism, the Mr. Peanut Butter side of me, which is about 80%, it's 70%. It thinks that people are not going to be dumb enough to vote for his fucker again. I have to believe that.
I hope you're right.
To that. I have to hold on to that. I just
see. I live in Texas, so I have an entirely different view. I'm like,
I get it, man. Like, as someone who lived there, I
live down the street from a Trump flag. True story.
Oh, dude, I have two neighbors on the side of the street that have either Blue Lives Matter shit or Trump signs in their front yard, and it's taking everything in me to not just piss on them. Like, trust me, I get.
I want to rip it down.
I get it. Trust me, but I have faith. I believe that the right candidate will win, which is Harris, by the way. If you hit, I will be voting early. I will be there at 8 a.m. voting because I'm not. The last couple elections I've had to do it after work, so I've been there like at 7, and that's when you hear a little too much banjo if you look like myself, and I'm just like nah, I'm gonna get there at 8 a.m. I'm gonna get this shit knocked out. So I will be there early with bells on. I'm getting that shit done, and then straight up, and I will be putting this out for the group chat as well, and on my Facebook. Do not talk to me about the election. I don't want to hear about who won what state. I don't want to hear it. I'm
going radio silent electric day. I don't want to see that. I
will just wake up the next morning and I will deal with the consequences. That's how I'm looking at it. So
that's where you get most of the anxiety. It's like Trump won Indiana. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't want to play.
You don't want to see that.
I just want y'all to just tell me who won, and then I will. I will say, leading up or the day election day, pardon me, I will actually have a interview and review of the new film Unfit, the psychology of Donald Trump, actually the sequel to that.
There's the sequel.
Yeah, so there's the Unfit, the psychology of Donald Trump, and then the other documentary that the guy did that he actually wasn't even intending to do was called Untruth, the psychology of Trumpism. So it talks about how this goes back to like the 50s and shit like that, and
You know how crazy you have to be to get 2 psychological documentaries?
right, right. So this one focuses more on people who vote for Trump. It's but yeah, shout out to the writer and director. Shout out to Dan Partland, who spent over an hour talking to me about this documentary. I had no idea our interview would go that long, but I think for people who are undecided still, I think it's a documentary well worth checking out, and I think our conversation is something that you'll learn from. So I will have that up the day before the election. That will be the one review that is out until Saturday that week. Anytime there's been an election, I always make sure there's one politically focused review, and that's it. So y'all, that'll be out the day before the election. It's already edited. It's always nice being able to. That's one nice thing too about having this time. I'm actually able to like plan shit out, and it's a little better. But Brandon, sir, I already know you're going to talk about Soapbox Corner. That's why I didn't steal it. But yeah, let's talk about it, man. Go ahead.
Canceled my show, man. They canceled my show.
Oh no!
I know there are many more important things going on in the world.
No, this is important.
Sometimes a show being canceled hurts my soul, and this one hurt a lot. Moon Girl and Double Dinosaur has been canceled after 2 seasons. The final 10 episodes will most likely be out in February because that's when the show always comes out. But yeah, it's dumb.
Such crap.
It's not new if you have been watching or just an animation fan in general. Disney in particular it is very popular for canceling shows after 2 or 3 seasons.
Yep.
It's been a slaughterhouse.
Yeah. There's an image going on, like death like going through like the doors, and it's like DuckTales. It's
DuckTales was the first thing that came to mind.
It's Gravity Falls. It's
Gravity Falls was too. Yeah.
Recently, Haley's on It got canceled this year, and just Disney animation is a fucking shit show. The show won like 5 Emmys and like animation awards. Like
I don't know what they're doing.
Unpopular. But in the eyes of Disney, it's like you're not doing what we need you to do. So to piggyback off that, you know, I have been I've stood up for the mouse, but I've also been very critical of the mouse. And this is one of these decisions that I genuinely just go, I don't know what you're thinking here. It's really weird too, especially in a world where X-Men 97 got so much praise, and you've got stuff like Invincible and My Adventures with Superman, like all these shows that are killing it. Like as I have said more often than not, and this is something that is going to be ironic to say to Disney, not everything needs to be live action. A lesson which they are not learning because people still keep seeing the live action films, but that's a whole other. That's a whole other
Stitch coming soon.
Yeah. So you know it's sad. I talk so much shit about Lilo and Stitch and about them doing that, and I saw that Stitch design. I went, I would kill for that fucking. I was like, God damn it! Like, and that's what's so frustrating because, like, you know, like when you hear like, oh, live action Mulan, no, thank you. I have no.
Leia should have been a Leia, but that's a whole other. We need a whole other pod for Disney live action.
Exactly.
What with right and wrong.
Pinocchio. Y'all, like if y'all listen to the podcast, that is one of my least favorite films in like the last 5 years.
Was that Robert Zemeckis? Who did that?
Yeah.
That was Robert Zemeckis?
Yeah, and it's bad. Like it is.
Oh my god,
man! It's like it's the Monsters Rob Zombie bad for me. Like I fucking hate Pinocchio.
God. I avoided that too much. I love the Monsters too much to let that happen.
Yes, keep those memories, man. Keep that shit on TV Land because that zombie shit, that Rob Zombie shit does not work.
Not my Herman.
But yeah, right. But it's one of these things where like I read that I just went. This is a show that clearly means a lot to people. You don't advertise it at all, which is something I've given Warner Brothers a ton of shit for. Like Disney is like an advertising fucking blitz, like to a point where it's irritating. It works, but it's irritating as fuck, and they can't fucking advertise Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Like it's
just to
so
further
weird.
that. Just to harp on, just because not just for Disney and Cartoon Network, but just for a lot of these TV shows that are getting canceled. Because I saw like the Jeff Goldblum, what was it, Olympian Chaos got canceled.
Yeah,
like, all these cool shows that were just starting up got canceled, and it just kind of makes me sad because you think about how old TV was. There should be like 30 episodes.
Yeah,
and,
even if the show was like good, you're like a show nobody is watching. Gets like 10 seasons or some shit.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, I guess I'll sit down and watch Lost. Like, people don't really have a chance to have like an audience to grow their shows with. And that's what's really shitty about it. Because, they'll produce 10, 15 seasons of what's streaming the most, but not the beloved, cult. I think it's a kind of a double-edged sword because on the one hand, it's like we have this thing that we appreciate, we love, but then you're like, damn it, I wish we just had more of it. So just, appreciate the little slimmer of gold that you have before it's canceled. So I feel that way about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Just a lot of these shows, like I want to watch Chaos. Like there's always shows I'm like I saved to my list. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get around to that. Oh, it's canceled.
Yeah.
and that's the other thing that like I've had people tweet at me and ask me like, why don't you review more more shows? And it's like, to be honest, I don't feel like getting invested in something that I feel like could get canceled like before I even get a chance to review it. Which sucks. It's like Netflix used to be, I think in a really good way, notorious for letting people have like 2 seasons minimum. Like because I think people forget, if you go back and watch the first season of like Parks and Rec and The Office, it's rough. Like you can feel there's something there, but they definitely had to work through shit. And season 2 of Parks and Rec is greatly improved. Season 2 of The Office, you could argue, is the best season of that show that they did, honestly. But then season 3 of Parks and Rec, you get Adam Scott and Rob Lowe thrown in there, and then the show really hits a rhythm and doesn't really lose it. I would argue until the last season where they do this whole Leslie Ron fighting storyline, which I just that stupid. But but
they always have to have that in sitcoms where the best friends fight. Like Troy and Abed fought.
Yeah, but you know what though? That at least leads to like a great 2-parter, and then it's done.
The pillow blankets.
But then they resolve that shit quick. But also Leslie just kind of mean throughout that whole shit. Like she, but that's I won't put my Leslie no brand. I won't do that. But this sucks. Like this straight up sucks. It's like, all right. That's a great word. Yeah, it's really discouraging. And
because so many animated shows. I'm sorry, but like
no, go ahead.
Yeah, because a lot of these animated shows, because like one of my favorite shows, one of Brandon Hart's favorite shows, is Close Enough that we loved, which was basically just grown up regular show.
Yeah.
And the thing about Warner Brothers that pissed me off is like not only will they delete the show, like you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, you got to pirate that now.
You got to pirate these animated shows, and you're just kind of like, that's not how that's supposed to go. So that like things like that, like just robbing it of not even seeing human contact. But that's like that Warner Brothers rant. Like I'm still salty over Batgirl.
Yeah.
So that is and the Batgirl shit. So this is a lot. That's another thing too. I'll piggyback off it. Now in California, when you buy a game off Steam, it actually gives you a pop-up that says you're not buying the game, that you're buying the license for the game. Yeah.
Well, they just delist it. You can't be mad about it anymore.
Y'all, straight up, this is why you buy physical media.
Please
this
buy
is why
physical media.
Right here. It's funny when Alea and I started dating. Cell brings 7 years on Friday, by the way. Whoop, whoop. But when we first started dating, she was asking, she's like, "Wow, you have a lot of Blu-rays." So it's like, yeah, because I know these companies at some point, like the streaming game, they're gonna go like, well, we can just pull shit. And and I had this like talk with her, and she's seen like stuff. She had a friend buy something and they can no longer access it because they were like, "Oh, sorry, no longer, like, don't have a license anymore." And it's like, I've gone on this rant a couple times, but to harp on Disney a little more, they did this movie called Crater, yeah. And it was like
the Kid Cudi movie.
Yeah,
anymore.
Yeah. And so months ago, unfortunately, my computer, there was a glitch in the Matrix, and I lost probably 100 reviews that I had in the vault. Just poofed.
Shit.
Most of them have been thankfully re-recorded and triple backed up at this point. But
Nice.
but one of the ones I lost was Crater, and I was like, oh, I should go back and review it. Oh, it's not on Disney Plus anymore, so I can't fucking watch it. So it's like, and straight up, people, Kid Cudi's amazing in that. Kid Cudi's a much better actor than he gets credit for. By the way,
fun.
Yeah,
he's a lot of fun.
But it was one of those things where I went, man, I'd love kids to get into. In the same way, I'd recommend something like Scooby-Doo or Courage the Cowardly Dog for kids to kind of be that gateway into horror. Monsters Inc. would fall in the same thing. I would recommend this for kids who want to get into sci-fi. If you want to get into early sci-fi, something like E.T. or Super 8 or Crater.
Spielberg, really.
Yeah, it's like a good gateway into seeing, where you get into your
Men in Black.
Yeah. Where you get into your sci-fi fix, and it sucks. And then if you're not gonna put something on streaming, give me a fucking physical release. Then give me an option to fucking buy the shit. And I
want to let people know there's still no Blu-ray for Killers of the Flower Moon. Just putting
which
that
is
out there.
wild.
Insane.
Like that is insane to me. Like there's a reason why I flip out when there's a new Criterion. I'm just like, oh, what movie can actually be preserved and shared to the masses? Like, it's on Netflix right now. The second Criterion I ever bought was Power of the Dog.
Nice.
Because I fucking love that movie. If it wasn't Garfield, it should have been Cumberbatch. It should not have been Will Smith. Fuck you, Will, for that. Yeah, I.
Yeah.
I own
Has
Malcolm
anybody
X.
rewatched King Richard?
No.
I was flipped. It popped up on my HBO Max. I just got mad all over again the other day. I was like, God damn it. But I own Malcolm X on Criterion. Great Criterion watch, by the way. But
best Spike Lee movie.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
okay. My hot take. That's my take.
I think mine might be Black Klansman for me.
I'm not mad at you, but that's my personal favorite.
It might be like I'm gonna sit back down and rewatch Malcolm X here.
I'll tell you why, because it's the rare 3.5 hour movie that doesn't feel like 3 hours. Like,
that's fair.
Every single frame and every single moment in that movie counts. It means something. There's not a wasted moment in that movie. That's my little Malcolm X review. Please continue.
I love that movie though. What up, Afternoon Tune?
Afternoon Tune, what's up, man?
So funny. I was supposed to be on there on Saturday, and I got way too high, and I had a really bad headache, so I slept. I slept through, dude. But honestly, though, I need the nap. I woke up and got shit done. So, all right, y'all. So real quick before we get to our reviews, just real quick. I got a chance to go check out AEW Dynamite Live this past Wednesday in San Jose. My friend Zach and I, shout out to Zach. We went ahead and drove to San Jose, made a little day trip of it, and crashed over at this really nice Airbnb, which is only like 3 minutes away from the arena. We were front row, which kicked ass. Got dapped from the CEO, Tony Khan. You insane bastard, you. Got that from Private Party. Shout out to them. It was just an amazing, awesome, fun time. If you get a chance to check out AEW Live, I highly recommend you do. Got a lot of pictures. It was just a great time. I was overdue to see some live entertainment and just kind of get some positive vibes going. So it was nice to interact with some good wrestling fans. They do exist despite what Twitter shows you on a daily basis. There are good wrestling fans out there. By the way, I don't know what this fucker's name is, but I hope you crash your car on the way home, because there's this one asshole who anytime there was like a women's match, would be like women can't wrestle or get back in the kitchen and saying this like dumb shit. Like
I remember when I was in middle school.
Right? Like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
So I almost got into a fight with this guy. So I told this to Lay. I haven't told anyone else yet. So Zach goes to the restroom and this guy's yelling. And I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying so hard to just ignore and just deflect. And he will not shut the fuck up. He just keeps going well, someone, I won't even repeat what he said. That it was that bad. But so there was a point where I finally was like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Basically think of the black dude in the Chappelle show.
Yes.
Like I said it just like that.
Shut the fuck up.
I said it just like that because I was so over.
Shout out to John Mayer.
Yeah, shout out to John Mayer. So this guy goes, "Oh, I paid for a ticket." I was like, "Yeah, I don't fucking care. You're being annoying." And so he goes, what does he say? He's like, "Oh man," he's like, "I should kick your ass." And so without missing a beat, and people, this is why you don't push me too far, because the nice hunter, like, ha ha ha, like that only takes you me so far before I just lose my shit. And I just look backwards and I yell, "I wish your mom swallowed, you fucking loser. Shut the fuck up." The security guard in front of me looked so mortified at how quickly that switch flipped. Guy didn't say a word for 20 minutes. He was actually quiet. Like I could actually tell that was enough to make him go like, "Oh well, what the fuck, dude?" So just a PSA: if you see me at a wrestling show and you're being a prick, just know that gear's there, people. All right, this
guy like lucky from a coma in the 90s and just found out that women are wrestling now. Like,
dude, what is this?
I have no idea.
Tell me they vote.
Right.
I'm sure he saw Kamala and his head exploded.
Probably.
Afternoon student said, I think Hunter almost said that to me a couple times. Yeah, that's true. You and us. But yeah, Nick's the homie. Nick only gets short jokes. Yeah, shout out to Nick. Love you, bud. All right, so officially moving on to reviews, we are going to start with a Brandon recommendation. We're going to start with Longlegs. Which Brandon has been in his bag recommending me stuff, and I gotta say, man, Brandon's been hitting. Like,
he's the guy.
Like, so I'm gonna admit something, and I'm this is a early Christmas present for Jamarco. I actually went back and watched Babylon a couple weeks ago. I actually like it a little more. I don't like it much more, but I like it a little more.
That's enough. That's enough for him. That's enough for him.
Like, I strictly went back and rewatched it because you were hyping it up. I'm like, you know what? Fair is fair. I will give this another shake. So I was dead dog sober. Like I was dead. Now let me be clear.
I'm always right.
Let me be clear. All my complaints still stand. It's still too goddamn long, and I still don't really care about anyone. But acting wise,
you don't care about Brad Pitt's tragic life story.
Not at all. But but I think I wish we got more Margot Robbie. I actually think she's probably the best thing in it for when she's on screen.
That's the best performance for me.
I really like her in it. So I'll continue to give Jamarco shit for it, but I will give him props. Like, I wasn't
ready for it.
Yeah, it's actually something that, and again, there is good stuff about it. I was even saying that when I was trashing it, but credit to Jamarco, I did like it a little more.
I mean, it's a movie about how Hollywood treats its actors as disposable garbage. That's not relevant.
right. I literally,
technology is ruining the Hollywood. What?
It's fun. It's funny as you say that. I just get a pop up saying that Blade Runner 2049 producers are suing Elon Musk and Tesla for copyright infringement. It's just like, yo, stop using AI. Can you just seriously let people put the work in? But anyways, Longlegs. It's directed by Oz Perkins. It's distributed by Neon. For those of y'all who listen to the podcast for this amount of time, Y'all know that as much as I love my comic book movies, my go-to studios are A24 and Neon. Every year, I think they put out the best content.
I think Neon's whooping ass this year. I must say.
Neon has been in their bag. Like, really, ever since I saw Ingrid Goes West, I think Neon has just been on this incredible streak. I love
it was I, Tanya for me.
Oh, Tanya's amazing. Yeah. Janie got the Oscar for that, right? Best supporting.
Allison Janney got. Oh my god. So
funny. Well deserved too. And shout out to Sebastian Stan in that. He's fucking great in that. He's doing well for himself. But but this movie tripped me out because I did not expect Blair Underwood. I had no fucking idea Blair Underwood was in this. I was
like, so good.
I was like, what? Let's go. Fucking Blair Underwood.
More black actors we grew up with.
But first off, yes, I know people. I know you're confused. No, this is not Blair Underwood hosting this. I know. I get it all the time. It's not me. I know. But
and I'm not Idris Elba, by the way.
right. So but Oz Perkins though. So he directed this. Did he direct Legally Blonde? That can't be right. Did he?
No, he was in Legally Blonde.
Oh, he's in Legally Blonde. I was about to say. Okay.
And he was the director in Nope. He was the.
That's right. Okay.
The one who laughed at the OJ joke.
Yeah,
which is great. Which is great. He's got The Monkey coming out next year in 2025. And no, that's
do you
not
know who his dad is?
No.
Anthony Perkins, Norman Bates.
Oh, shit. Go figure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And no, The Monkey is not a Tyler Perry biopic. Zing. But I will say, going into this, I just knew it was about a serial killer. That's all I knew. I was able to avoid spoilers and all that shit. And I will say, go into this as cold as possible. Like, I don't think I even saw. I think I saw a teaser, like a 90-second teaser, but I've gone out of my way to actually not watch trailers.
This was probably some of the best horror marketing of the year because they would show us these trailers and these posters with all these encryptions and hieroglyphics, and we'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Remember, like the first teaser didn't even have like the name of the movie in it. It was just like a line or something from it, and it just showed like clips. And
it was like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, I was like, "This is good."
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I saw. I don't think I actually saw a full trailer. So, getting into this, how are you gonna go? Was that Micah Monroe?
Yeah,
Micah Monroe. Yes.
Who you're gonna know from The Guest and It Follows. If you have not seen either of those, watch both of those. Both of those are fantastic films, by the way. So she goes ahead and she's playing Lee Harker, who is this investigator working for the FBI, and she's brought in to go ahead and work with Agent Carter, Blair Underwood, to go ahead and track this killer down. And honestly, that's all the setup you need. That's kind of the movie. And again, like I would tell y'all, like you're gonna go in this kind of going like, all right, what's going on here? And the movie very much like, okay, so one of my most important films for me, as far as my film geekdom, is Silence of the Lambs. I saw it when I was 5, way too fucking early. Which just people kids don't watch Silence of the Lambs when you're 5.
That's our mom's comfort movie.
Yeah, she puts that on to go to sleep.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. That's like, that's kind of like you talk to a girl and being like, "Oh, what's your comfort movie?" "Oh, I spit on your grave." Love that.
Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Afternoon Tune said Hunter Longlegs, Hunter cross-dressed that night after watching that movie. Not true at all.
You didn't want to put on a wig and some makeup and
Nah, but to be fair, outside the color orange, I don't think there's anything I can't pull off. That's a whole other thing. But what I really love about this movie is the framing of each shot. Like anytime there's like there are corridor, like this town should be called Corridorsville because there are corridors and like long hallways everywhere, and yet the way it informs the shot and gives you the sense of dread, it's so fucking well done. It's very M. Night in that way, kind of how he uses certain like colors to kind of like cue you to certain things. It's very reminiscent of that, but I actually prefer this actually because I think it adds a nice range of scope to the film. I know we already shout him out, but Blair Underwood, man, he's awesome in this. He's so goddamn good in this. Like he's best supporting like level in this. Like he's great in this fucking movie. And I'm gonna shout out shout out the boy Larry here. Shout out to Larry over at Real Early. He was saying that he thought Nicolas Cage was distracting in this. And respectfully, sir, I gotta disagree. I thought he was awesome in this. I had to look.
I love it when Cage just goes full Cage. Like, you know what you're getting when you see Nick Cage in a role like this. Like, yeah, just fucking go all in, give it to me.
well, between this and in Pig, which he should have gotten an Oscar nomination for, by the way. Speaking of horror movies that didn't get nearly enough love, Pig is one of them. But between Pig and like Sympathy for the Devil and Dream Scenario, which I think is fucking like, I think Dream Scenario 5 years from now is going to be one of those movies we look back on and go like, wow, that might be top 5 Cage. Like he's like you have never.
I gotta watch it.
Oh man, there's a hookup scene in that film that is one of the most uncomfortable things I've seen. It makes me uncomfortable. Like I was cringing my seat. I was like, this is impressive that you're getting
a lot of good cringe in Dream Scenario.
Yeah, it's on the HBO Max, by the way, people, so you can check it out there. But oh god, Dream Scenario is so good. But but this is one of these movies where it gives you a little bit. It's very meticulously paced, very much like Silence of the Lambs. You're not going to know what's going on for like 80% of it, and you need to be okay. And you need to be okay with that. I know some people. I know there are those people, and I hate people who watch films like this who try to like guess the twist. I hate that. Like let the movie. It's like listening to an album out of order. The artist put these songs in order for you to take you on a musical journey. Respect that journey. Do it the right way. Same thing with a film. You don't need to be trying to guess if there's a twist or anything like that. Just experience the film. And as I was watching this, experiencing it, thankfully I didn't smoke beforehand because goddamn, some of this imagery in here is is not don't do that. But what I'll say before I throw it to Jamarco is I thought I'd be getting one thing from this movie, and I actually got more than I expected. So yeah, Jamarco, your initial thoughts, sir.
Yeah, this is, of course, like you said, I love Silence of the Lambs. For me, it's always a toss up between that and Seven for like what's the best psychological thriller ever. So I kind of saw a lot of footprints of that in there. Also saw a lot of what I just recently watched for the first time, Sinister, just about
there is a lot of that.
I love a story where somebody gets involved in a case they shouldn't be fucking with, and how it drives them crazier, and where it just takes their story. And Micah Monroe, like I said, has been a scream queen. She's been great in It Follows, and I gotta watch Watcher, which Brandon has recommended to me.
I can't stop recommending Watcher. Watch Watcher.
I will watch Watcher. She's fantastic. And I want to shout out Alicia Witt as her mom, who steals the show. I don't want to get spoilery, but she goes some places as well. And like I said earlier, when it comes to Nick Cage, like I think he's one of those actors who everybody loves him. He's like the Snoop Dogg of movies. That's
a great comparison, actually.
He's just everywhere, and you just roll with it. And just a role like this, because they said like the big marketing thing was like, this is the scariest Nick Cage has ever been. Like they had the trailer where Micah Monroe's like heart rate went up when she saw Nick Cage in the makeup for the first time. So it was very good marketing. But yeah, I had a ball. I didn't find him terrifying at all. I just found him absolutely hilarious and and it was just fascinating to watch. And I love that there were just a bunch of T-Rex songs in there, and just like you said, the framing and Blair Underwood's character and where the story takes you. You think it's just a simple case, and then it goes off the rails completely. And a lot of people hate these kind of like gotcha endings, but I dug it So yeah, I can't say enough good things about Longlegs. It's very, very moody, very atmospheric. Yeah, like you said, don't get high when you watch it because you just
Oh yeah,
sucked
no,
into that world.
I wouldn't watch this after church either because like
Watch it before.
Don't let your granny watch this.
Oh yeah, your grandma would be like, "What the fuck?" Brandon, Brandon, your initial thoughts, sir.
Oh yeah, no secret that this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I can say it absolutely delivered for me. As a big fan of Silence of the Lambs as well, I was excited to see like the kind of moody, that same kind of moody atmosphere and like FBI procedural kind of tone in this. But like as an even bigger fan of Zodiac, I loved like focus of like on a serial killer. You don't really know what the hell he's up to, and like I mean, just like you guys, you said it perfectly, Hunter. Like I came in expecting one thing, and I got a lot more that I loved. Like out of this, like not to get too spoilery about it, but like there are some supernatural elements in this that like appear, and I love the way that they're handled. I love the direction of this. Like it is most definitely a slow burn horror movie, but like it's one of those like I could see like just being a comfort movie for me just because I love for it. The performances are fantastic, like you mentioned. Alicia Witt steals the show. Blair Underwood is fantastic. Micah Monroe, and
I was like, wait.
and Nick Cage are like amazing, like leads in this. Like I have not been able to stop talking like Mr. Longlegs since I've seen the movie. Just at this random bursts of that.
Still about your dancing.
Yeah.
Let me in now.
Oh man, dude, fuck that.
But like, I don't even know if I want to mention her name, but there is a scene-stealing moment in this movie from a young actress.
But people, we're doing spoilers on this.
Okay,
all right.
Yeah, we can get into it.
Karen Shipka has a scene in this movie that is absolutely haunting, and with her and Micah Monroe, and she is so good. I need to see her in more horror movies.
Yeah,
her The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, or most recently, Totally Killer. But yeah, she is amazing. More people should be talking about her.
She's amazing. So I mean, I'll get my sup girl hi pretty white. I'll get that out of the way real quick. But watching her in Totally Killer, and actually as someone who liked Chilling Adventures of Sabrina a lot and thought Netflix has been fucking over. Like I know the kids from Hawthorne will get a nice like celebratory victory lap, but man, like if you're not Stranger Things or BoJack, the way that they just let these shows just like disappear in the abyss is fucked, man. And
no matter the amount of fans is just like, sorry, you're not Stranger Things views.
Exactly, but in Totally Killer is a fucking blast, by the way. For those of y'all who haven't seen it, that's on Prime Video. But yeah, no, she's fantastic. She should be a bigger thing. She was just in Twisters, apparently. So.
Yeah, she's a bit role in Twisters.
Oh hell yeah, okay.
But yeah, Longlegs, man. I like. Yes, this movie was marketed like most horror movies are marketed as like this is the scariest movie you'll see. That's not entirely true, but I do think it does some unsettling things that I haven't seen a horror movie do, or make me feel rather.
My dogs were interrupting me.
But yeah, no, I truly think like Longlegs is like one unsettling, uncomfortable, twisted, and like Marco said, funny, kind of like it's very funny at times. Horror movie, and I like Osgood Perkins. I like his style.
How do you feel? Since we're talking spoilers, can we just talk about the dolls?
Oh yeah. So that was the thing. Honestly, that made me go like, oh man, maybe I'm probably I am dating myself this reference, but when I was a kid, they had those like those like My Buddy dolls, which are kind of like I remember those, like they kind of like and like I always liked those as a kid, but then I remember they had like the American Girl dolls, and those were the ones that were just kind of the soulless kind of
bug eyes.
Yeah, like like almost like a precursor to not Beanie Babies, Furbies, those fucking creepy things. Like
Furbies are terrifying.
They are, like, the way that the eyes just look soulless and in here,
and they can really
creep the fuck out.
That's what the government was testing AI.
Oh, I would not doubt it.
Versus machine scene with the
I must feast.
Some small scissor shit. Like it's straight up like, but the dolls in here, I think you put it perfectly, Brandon. Like there wasn't a ton of stuff where I was like jumping out of my seat or anything like that.
Yeah.
But this movie is so unsettling and it's so unnerving the whole time. Like I never felt comfortable watching this.
Exactly. And like I think that lends to what you're saying with like the shots. Like there's so much at times like empty space, and like since we're talking spoilers, like the devil's in here. The devil appears in this movie, and like when I watched it the first time in theaters, I did catch him like a couple times, but like apparently he's in the background like a whole lot more than like I know.
Drinking game.
And that's the kind of stuff I love in like horror movies. Like Mike Flanagan is great at it as well, like doing these kind of like anti-scares where it's like no music sting, no jump scare music or anything. It's just like, oh fuck, there's something back there the whole time. And how long was it back there? Like I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I actually did kind of go back a few scenes because like you see the devil like in the form of this like black smoke, but then you start going through the movie and you're like, oh shit, he's actually like they're actually these spots where you're like, oh, and like it's definitely one of those movies because like I'm bad about this, y'all. Like the reason why a movie that's like an hour or 40 might take me 2.5 hours to watch because I'm pausing to take notes and shit, and on rewinding I went, oh wow, he's in this like a good amount, like holy shit, and then it gets even more like you're like, oh my god, that's horrifying. Also, there is a scene, I won't spoil the scene even though like we're doing spoilers, but there is a scene, the interrogation scene that we do get is so the way that shit ends, I was like, oh man. I was like, oh, don't like that. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. And I will say, as someone who grew up in church, the very clear metaphor that people who saw Eternals and hated it will hate this shit for the same reason. The actual physical representation of letting church and religion to your home and having it destroy your home.
Yep.
Like that I was laughing because I was sitting there watching with my partner and Alea kind of looks over at me and I go and I throw that out there and she just goes like, oh shit, people are gonna hate that. I'm like, yeah, they are. People will hate that comparison and they'll hate that that's something the movie is clearly trying to say. We haven't mentioned her.
Lee Harker's dark. She's got a darkness in there.
Yeah, that line too, like, because it's a really interesting notion of it, of that concept of religion being passed down and it just being something, that people don't even think about. I mean, hell, people tie their morality to it, and it's so interesting how the film, talks about that. I didn't mention, we didn't mention her, and I feel like a dick for not doing so. I don't have the little black girls,
yes.
She was great. She was awesome. Like because when you get kids in movies, especially horror movies, they can sometimes be too gimmicky or not fully commit. But you can like kids are smart.
Yes,
people really don't. Like, especially young, like 4 or 5-year-old kids are like way more observant than we give them credit for. And this little black, she can tell something's going on with something's going on with Lee. Like, just even the way she invites her to her birthday party is kind of like, you need this. You need to get out of that fucking house.
Yeah, this movie's gonna ruin a lot of birthday parties for people.
Oh man,
yeah. Because there's a whole thing with like the date, right? The 14th is like when the murder is always happening. So you got on the 14th. I'm sorry.
Happy birthday, I guess. Stay inside. Don't accept any gifts.
Yeah, that shit was that shit's wild. But
also, Real quick, speaking
Yeah.
of adult, can I just say my favorite Blair Underwood line in this movie?
Yeah, of course.
It's when, you know, something happens and, you know, he's talking. It's like, hey, me and my wife going to go to the kitchen. I'll be right back. Oh, no, you'll still be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That
So,
show, like, oh no.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh shit.
You're talking, you mentioned Sinister, like getting vibes from that from this movie, but like also big Amityville vibes.
Yes.
Me, like with this, with just like very familial. Something goes wrong with the father and the family, and things
kills everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Things get bad.
Yeah. I will say myself, just going through my notes here. There is a kill within the first like 20 minutes, like point blank range shot in the head that caught me so off guard. I was like, holy fuck! Like the movie is not subtle in that way, in the terms of like because each kill in here is brutal. There's this one great shot of this woman and the way that she is hit. She's basically falls to her knees like she's praying, and you get this amazing shot of like the cross in like the archway right before an axe goes into her back. I was like, oh, the symbolism just in this shot. Like there's so much of that that I just found myself going, God damn, dude, like you're in your bag in this.
Yeah.
As far as complaints, because it's me, I'll find something to complain about. I really was sitting here, I was like, that's going to be the biggest complaint people are going to have, is that they just don't know what's going on. Yeah. And look, you will enjoy film more if you learn that that's okay. It's okay to not learn shit until the final third in the fall of the breadcrumbs. Like you don't need to be spoon fed. Like it's, I know I always bring up this example, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it again. It's still something that peeves me. In fucking Hawkeye, when Yelena's beating the shit out of him, and he does Nat's whistle, and he says Nat's whistle. I'm just like, motherfucker, we've been watching these for like over a decade. Most people who are invested are gonna know that reference. You don't need to
spell it out.
Like trust your audience. And God damn it! After doing the lady from Longlegs needs to spoon feed me. God damn it! Stop taking my gimmick. But yeah, man, this is one of those movies that I just, like I said, I expected something else, and I got something entirely different, and I was just like, hell yeah! I don't know if this will crack my top 10, just because there's a lot of shit I like. This like even the Fall Guy is not even on my list right now, and it was my number one as of like June. So this might just be one of those that I have to go like, I'm sorry, it's really great though. But goddamn, I'm gonna say it's an A for me, but I fully acknowledge that when I kind of go through and do some rewatches in January to finalize the list, that it might go up as far as a grade. But I would tell someone it's a solid A. I enjoyed the hell out of this. From the score, which is fantastic, to sound editing, which is not talked about enough in film, just like these little creaks and like the sound of the axe going in, like the sound editing,
little 8mm shots,
Yeah. There's this one shot. There's this one sequence where where Lee's going through like a visual representation. Like, tell me what this reminds you of, and just that shot, the way that whole scene is shot, like this is so fucking cool. So yeah, solid A for me. Check this out when you can. It's on VOD, and I think it's still in theaters. So yeah, check this out when you can.
Yeah, there's
coming back in theaters.
Coming back to theaters, and I think there's a Q&A with Osgood Perkins and a
hell yeah,
a sneak peek of the monkey with it this time.
Ooh, okay, let's go. Jamarco, sir, your final thoughts and grade.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. This is a solid A for me. And although it is derivative of other things that we love, it takes it and then puts a new twist on it. It adds new cinematic flair, and with performances like we were talking about today, and just the scare factor. It's not so much because people want scary movies to just be a whole bunch of jump scares, scare the shit out of you. it's much more a feeling of just dread and just and just like you feel sick and you feel like you shouldn't be watching this, like you shouldn't know about this story, and that's more of the horror that I'm accustomed to instead of just like, boo, I got you. You know, although I do love those movies, you know, you gotta have a little bit more, you know, something to have me interested. So just the mood of this film, the way it's shot, the performance, how everybody is just locked in. It's definitely, I think the marketing helped a lot. You're gonna see a lot of Longlegs Halloween costumes this year. It's really fascinating. It's just the way it was executed from marketing to production to, you know, the film came out. I think they just did an A1 job with it, and it scares shit out of me. So definitely future serial killer classic for the next generation. This will be their Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I can see that. Brandon, your final thoughts and grades, sir?
Yes, man, I love this movie. I love Michael Monroe.
You've been riding hard for this movie. Like this has been one of
your one. Yeah.
If I didn't like it, it probably would have broke me a little bit. You wouldn't have heard from me for a few days.
No, it sucked.
I'm happy to report that I love this movie. I'm right there with you. I think this is like a super strong A for me. Maybe with a rewatch, like a A+ even. But no, like I love like just the unnerving factor. I'm always down for like when horror like mixes in like subgenres. So the way that this movie melds in the supernatural with the, you know, mystery solving aspect, with the serial killer aspect, with the religious aspect, like all of that, like into like something like Marco said, like it's, yes, we've seen like stuff like this before, but the way this movie like meshes it and uses it like to his advantage, like I love it. I can't stop talking like Mr. Longlegs. Like I will never stop talking like him.
Are you gonna get the hair? Are you gonna do the hair?
Got to. But no, like I when I first saw this movie, like I was like, okay, it's like you said, not super jump scary, but like this is a horror movie for me that like this is gonna leave a stain in my head. Like this, like it's kind of unforgettable in that way. Whereas like I may not have like a specific jump scare or anything that like got me, but like there's just so many moments in this movie where it's just like, oh, don't want to think about that when I'm going to sleep. So
fair. I want to see that.
Say about Longlegs.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so solid A's across the board, y'all, for Longlegs. But like I said, that's gonna be hitting back in the theaters here. It's a great Halloween watch too. So like if you want something to kind of I would do, man, I think I know he's been saying like Zodiac and like Silence of the Lambs. I think a double feature of this and Nightcrawler, I think would kick so much ass.
I like that.
I haven't seen Nightcrawler in a minute.
That's what this reminded me of, like that uncomfortable feeling.
Obsessed with murder.
Yeah, where I was just like, oh wow, I don't like this. Like this is making me like when Jake Gyllenhaal basically tells Renee Russo, like, I'm gonna fuck you when I want to, and you're gonna love it. I was just like, all right, off ramp.
Poor Riz
Ahmed. I was like, holy shit, yeah, man. That movie rules.
I love
yeah.
R.P. Bill Paxton.
Right. But yeah, y'all. So moving on to slightly lighter, and I'd say slightly lighter. We're gonna move on to Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which is a
Where did I watch this?
which is a first time watch for me. I had never seen it. I know. So look, I've been a Scooby-Doo fan since I was 4. I don't know why I've never watched this. I don't have a reason. I just never watched this.
This is cinema here.
I know. I know. Like it's one of those things I just never and I gotta give Brandon credit because I've been like dipping a little bit into like the Scooby-Doo. Like so like I watched some like Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. I watched a couple episodes of that. Which is, by the way, the most random fucking show. Like I watched the 3rd episode and like
how old is that show?
That's like a few years back, man. That's like one of the most recent Scooby-Doo shows.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years. Okay. 2 or 3 years.
That's the guest star show where every episode is a different guest star.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because Batman, this is the first episode, which is great. And then like Casey Musgraves was like episode 3.
Weird Al Yankovic is in one episode.
Yeah,
of course it's Weird Al. You gotta have Weird Al if you're doing a variety
I think
show.
Allison Janney's in an episode. Like it's wild.
Well,
like,
Scooby-Doo crossed over with everybody.
Yeah,
I mean that's true. Like I will stand on business on the Harlem Globetrotters episode still being one of the best. That shit was like just throwing basketballs at the monsters. I was like, oh my god.
How about driving the Mystery Machine and bouncing the basketball as you're driving?
Oh yeah.
Like
that's amazing.
You will never not convince me that Shaq didn't steal that idea for Shaq Fu, like that fucking video game that he did. Like I
wonder like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, like fuck off. Like I know you stole that from Scooby, but yeah, going into this, I didn't know anything about it. Even Alea had seen this, which I won't lie. I was like, oh damn, you've seen this? Like, fuck, okay, I need to watch it then. All anyone I talked to said were the Hex Girls.
The Hex Girls
was like the Mummy for like sexual awakening for a lot of people.
That was a goth awakening.
And after watching it, I was like, okay, this actually I'd probably be in the Goth Girls more if I'd actually watched this as a kid. So probably a good thing I did.
They were very important.
But
still are.
But one of the things that I've really liked about like this cyber chase in like Zombie Island is it's really funny to see Fred, who's like the constant. It's a person under a mask. It's a person under a mask.
Yeah,
and him just being like,
"Oh shit, it's real."
like
this is the shit just got real trilogy. Zombie Island, cyber chase. Witches Ghost. This is real shit happening right now.
Having to have that realization for him, I think it's fucking great, and it's actually like lent more to the horror aspect of the films. Two, I have to say, I like them actually working in like real mythology, like they talk about like the Salem witch trials and stuff like that in here. Yeah, and they actually straight up say that like they were killed by they don't say like religious people. I can't remember the spin word they use, but it's very much one of those like substitute words.
Zealots.
It's
one of them.
It's definitely one of the substitute words for Christianity. So if you're a kid and you go like, oh, see, also, oh shit, like it's like the movie
just killing women.
Yeah, you know that old.
How do you know math? Burn her.
Yeah, right. That souffle is too fluffy. Burn her. Like it's
cheated on me. Burn her.
It's pretty wild, like how far they actually go with it. Mm-hmm. So the concept is very simple. So oh god, what's her name? Velma. I'll be real.
Velma.
Yeah, fucking.
I got you. Don't hurry.
No, I appreciate it. No, Mindy Kaling. I think that show.
Hey, Velma got canceled. That's good news.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. We can throw that. We can throw that out. But Velma, who's voiced here by B.J. Ward, she goes ahead and she becomes friends with this dude, Ben Ravencroft, who's voiced by the brilliant, the wonderful Tim Curry. Smashing. Fucking love that dude. God damn, he's wonderful. Maybe
Are you watching Rocky Horror this year?
You know what's fun? Oh, wait, have you seen Rocky Horror, right, Brandon?
Yes,
you've seen it? Yeah. I think it's a good movie. It's something I don't often revisit. Like
I had a lot of theater friends, so
I do too. I've probably seen Rocky Horror like 10 times against my will. Not even against my will, but it's like one of those things that's like on, you know, like, so I've definitely had my go to a Rocky Horror Live thing. If you've never seen it,
wanted to.
Highly recommend. The energy is great if you can check out like a fan event or something like that for it. But maybe my hottest take here, as far as Tim Curry, Clue is not his best film. Or his best performance.
That's fine. He got like $1 billion.
I mean, true, but that would be
Charlie's Angels.
That would be Muppet Treasure Island. Fuck y'all. I don't care what anyone says.
There you go.
Like he's fantastic in that. And he only has one musical number, and he
not Home Alone 2.
He is great in Home Alone 2. He is really great in that.
He is great in Home Alone.
But I gotta say, that was probably the thing in a positive way that surprised me the most, is because Tim Curry, like, he could have phoned this shit in. Like, he easily could have. He could have been like, who gives a fuck? But Ravencroft is a dick. Like,
he went crazy. This is amazing performance.
When the reveal does come, so like, I will say, as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, he's talking about this book an awful lot. Like, that feels like a red flag.
Yeah, my great ancestor was a witch or whatever.
He keeps on talking about it.
But he does a really good job of kind of like, kind of laying the cut. That's like kind of doing those sort of
like,
things.
I'm on your side, Scooby Gang.
Yeah.
Let's go find that witch.
Yeah, he does a very great job of like smoke and mirroring the shit. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I do appreciate is he uses his money like if the same way I would if I was rich. Like, he's just paying people off to make sure he gets what he wants, and they're like
carry out the whole town.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I would totally do that. I told like day one. So when Velma acts like, oh my god, how could you like screw me over?
She's all on his. She is all on Ravencroft's fan.
Yeah, like this is probably what turned her lesbian, was like this interaction with a guy. But he's so great about it though. Like, I love how like fuck you bitch she is about it. Like,
he dials it up. It's so anime in the best ways. Like, you fool.
Yeah.
Your book.
Like, that was your mistake.
Wow,
he's like posing like Spider-Man. It's like, this is amazing.
Oh my god, he is. Yeah, he has a whole like villain speech. Oh, it's fucking great. What I will say too is that this continues Scooby's interaction with any other animal being just chaotic and wonderful. Like, that's a great running gag throughout these three movies. And
we're talking about the giant turkey.
Yeah, dude, that shit had me rolling. I was not expecting the giant turkey. Like, it kind of reminds me of like a Donkey Kong Country boss battle, number one, because it's very much in that quadrant. But two, this giant turkey just chasing Shaggy and Scooby. And they actually kind of bring it up and make it canon that they have the best cardio, which I went, yeah, that actually makes sense. Like, because they're always running. Yeah, they're always running the fuck away.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. He probably smokes sativa, so that keeps you active.
that is true. That
all those calories that they're eating.
You get the munchies and you start running it off.
So there is a scene where, before I throw it to you, Jamarco, where they eat all this food at this.
This is what I was going to talk about. The food looks so good, by the way.
The food looks fantastic. Like, it gave me like Chef vibes, where I was like I remember I saw Chef on an Empty Stomach, which is still one of the dumber things I've done as a critic. I remember just sitting in that theater being like Scooby. I was like, oh goddamn, like that sandwich looks like that. Yeah, it's like, man, I would bludgeon someone for that sandwich right now. It's like, and they show you this animated food, and it looks so goddamn good. And so when Scooby and Shaggy just start eating, I went, oh man, like, good for you. Like, I'm happy that you're able to. I'm able to live vicariously through y'all. But actually, Jamarco went first last time, so Brandon, we'll throw it to you, man. Like, talk to me about your thoughts with this and your memories. Yeah.
Oh man. Yes, I love me some Scooby-Doo. I love this. I don't know, what is it? Quadrilogy? Yeah, quadrilogy of movies where it's like real shit's happening.
Oh yeah, we didn't bring up Alien Invaders.
Yeah, Alien Invaders, often forgotten. Alien Invaders.
Broken Heart. Ooh,
so good. But yes, I love this installment of Witch's Ghost. I think this is the first. I think this is after Zombie Island, I would say.
Yeah, Zombie Island was 99.
So yeah, I love this. I love the opening scene. Like, I'm always a sucker for a Scooby-Doo movie having us like just dropping us in the middle of a mystery. And like, yeah, I like how this one, like you mentioned, like him paying off people, it like wraps around to the whole thing, because Tim Curry's character set up the whole mystery at the beginning just to meet the gang and get him to Massachusetts. But no, I love Witches Ghosts. I love the Hex Girls. Is one of my favorite Scooby-Doo supporting characters. I love that they continue to bring them back. But yeah, man, this Witches Ghosts is me and Marco joked about it. I think when we watched it, is basically an Evil Dead movie almost because they're trying to find the book of the dead. The witches.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, I love the setting of Salem. I love the townsfolk, the mayor that sounds like John F. Kennedy.
Man, it's like a dead.
What's going on here?
Yeah,
you're telling me there's a witch?
Yeah, that was kind of eerie how much you sound like Kennedy. I was like, what the fuck?
That's not what your ghost can do for you.
Ghost can do for Salem. But no, I love this movie. I love that the Hex Girls are not only like a important part of the movie, but they also kind of are the red herring, the traditional Scooby-Doo.
Very much so.
Herring.
Yeah, that's right.
Girls, they're obviously the witches.
With vampire fangs.
Exactly. But behind Zombie Island, this is probably my favorite Scooby-Doo animated movie.
Fair.
And yeah, no, I just enjoy this to bits. Like, it's so fun. The setting is great. Like you mentioned, the food, whoever animates the food on these movies are like
so good.
I hope they got paid well, because like it made all of us hungry, and it continues to make all of us hungry in watching this. But yeah, man, this is just a great Scooby-Doo movie, and I love it's kind of similar in a way to Zombie Island, where it's like, oh, this is the reveal, but it's like, oh no, this is the real reveal. Like,
yeah, like it does a good job. It's crazy how much content they're cramming into these. It's like, what, 70 minutes, I think? It's like, it's quick. Yeah,
they go by.
But it flies by. Like, I was like, wow, that's done all right. Yeah, hour 6 minutes. I was like, god damn. Like, it did not, like, it felt like 30. Like I was just like, this is fucking awesome. Jamarco, yeah, your thoughts, man.
Yeah, The Witch's Ghost. Yeah, like I said earlier, me and Brandon, we grew up on Scooby-Doo just our entire lives. Like, even from, I remember when Shaggy had the red shirt.
Yeah,
same.
Yeah, but Scooby is a part of my life, part of my DNA, and this movie definitely was a part of my DNA as a young child. I could sing the Hex Girl songs. Shout out to Eco Goth.
Slap too.
Shout out to the Eco Goths. Gotta save the environment. Yeah, I echo everything you guys say. It's just a fun Halloween film. You cannot go wrong with Scooby-Doo, and I think those 4 movies are like the pinnacle of Scooby-Doo feature-length films for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there's some better ones, please let me know. But I think those 4 movies, Zombie Island, Alien Invaders, Cyber Chase, and Witch's Ghost, are like pretty close to perfect.
Yeah.
So and they just, like you said, with the runtime, they don't waste anything. They got great voice acting. They don't slack on the animation. It's actually scary. Zombie Island actually scared the shit out of me as a child.
Zombie Island had some great scares in it.
I couldn't watch it. Those zombies scared the shit out of me. And the cat people scared the shit out of me. And yeah. And with this one, like with the Witch's Ghost, I was like, watching. Like, if I was a kid right now, I'd be fucking terrified seeing this ghost lady just
when she actually appears, it's
actually terrifying. There's some real stakes happening here.
Yeah, like so what I love about this, a very good lesson for those of you to take away. The town is like, oh, we're gonna use this witch as a gimmick to go ahead and make money. And Ravencroft is like, fuck y'all for going ahead and trying to make money off my name. And they're like, oh yeah, we're sorry. Even though what he's doing is, 1,000 it's 1,000 times worse.
I'm going to raise the dead. Take over.
But then like Mystery Inc. is just kind of caught in the middle, like just trying to do their job.
No, I'm just like, yo, I'm just a fan of your books.
Yeah,
the whole warlock thing,
which is a really nice like twist on it. To Jamarco's point, when the witch does show up, she starts throwing like fireballs and shit. You're like, Jesus Christ, like that, like
these children are about to die.
Yeah,
like she hits this tree and this tree just dissolves into nothing. You're like, god damn, like it just straight up like if she touches you, you're gone. And very similar to what they did in Cyber Chase, which we'll get to. There's a really great sort of like keep away bit with MacGuffin A that they need to go ahead and use. But the thing is, like, we've all seen thousands of movies. Like, that's kind of like a trope. But I will say, they do a great job of using it here because there's like this Shaggy Scooby almost just like 5 minutes straight chase scene with that with that giant ass turkey, and it's actually shockingly intense. Like it's kind of like a side scroller in the way that the turkey just continues to chase them, and then there's a point where the turkey like extends its neck like Stretch Armstrong style, and they're just like, what the fuck? Like they have these little things that keep it really fresh but keep it very very intense. Throwing back to a couple other things here, I love that they bring up the fact that Fred always asks to go along with Daphne. Like they finally bring that up, and he legit like. It's kind of like when a kid has gotten away with something and they just never think they'll get questioned on it again. And so it's like, hey, Fred, why are you always and he has nothing.
We're just let him go. Just like, go on.
That was just like, okay, go ahead.
I was laughing so hard because Fred was just like, oh, you smart bitch. Why would you?
There's always a Fred Daphne rapport in these movies. Like because they're not a couple in these movies, they're just homies, but there's always underlying tension. Like when I go back to Zombie Island, I think about Fred hanging out with the Creole lady, and Daphne's just like, "Oh my god,
oh yeah,
you are so corny."
Well, even here, like when he meets the Hex girls,
like
it's like, oh hey, like what's up?
I'm down with the environment.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. And Daphne, like, well, like definitely they definitely have that like kind of like almost like. He could be her dick in the box. Like there is a world where that's definitely the thing. Like
you're hunting monsters all day, a lot of pent up frustration. Things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, what am I gonna do? Fuck the nerd or the dog?
No offense, though.
Nerd or the dog. Wow.
I'm just standing right here.
No offense to Velma. I love Velma. Just for the joke.
Sorry to all my Velma fans out there.
That
is the hot one, actually, you guys. Come on.
Oh, Velma's fine.
No one ever cosplays as Daphne.
What's the line from the live action Scooby-Doo movie? He's like,
oh yeah, I'm a man of substance. Things like you turn me on too.
Yeah, like shout out Linda Carlini and that who can still get it, by the way. As far
too.
Right, yeah, her too. So what I found actually, Chill Hunter, shut up. You've been here before. Like, I'm going to be on the afternoon tune again, right? Like, you might. As far as stuff that I didn't like, again, like boring answer, but yeah, I got nothing. Like as I was watching this, I was like, this is intense.
I got something
like,
I don't like.
Not what you got?
X girls.
There you go. See, all right, fine. There is a complaint. Not enough X girls.
Why didn't they? They could have. Did they go on tour after this? I want to know their story. Is there a Hex Girls spinoff in the works?
Honestly, you could actually spin that pretty easily. Honestly,
HBO Max, Hex Girls cartoon.
Come on.
One trope that I do love that this film continues is whenever someone releases like a spirit or like a mummy or anything along those lines, no one ever thinks that the creature will just go, hey, thanks for letting me go, fuck off. Like
yeah, they always got beef. Like,
yeah,
you thought you could hang out with me?
like I think so many times we kind of get the the Imhotep, like, oh, help me out, I'll give you jewels, or the Jafar, like, oh, you help free me, I'll give you riches. But no, this which the ghost is straight up like, oh yeah, you're a disappointment and you suck. Fuck you.
Like, you don't even deserve the Ravencroft name, nerd.
I love that. I was like, good. I was like, I appreciate that this is an option because it's one that is often not brought up nearly enough. And then the ghost being the petty bitch she is like, if I'm going back in that book, I'm not going alone. And drags his ass with her back into the book. And man, I thought that shit was savage. I was like, I love that so much. Like, I love that she's that she's that petty. Like, no, fuck you.
Word to the wise. Be careful how you talk about your ancestors.
That's very true. But yeah, getting to my final thoughts, man. this was just fun. Like, this is just another Scooby-Doo movie that works. I think I gave Zombie Island an A. And I'd give this an A too. Like, it's wild that these work so well. Like, cause like like people do animated movies on properties all the time and don't care. Like, I think about something like Pocahontas Journey to a New World, which still bothers me. It's still one of those movies where it's like, oh, I got away from the abusive white guy, but don't worry, right back in that, right back into the powder I go. It's like, God damn it. Like,
true story.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't look up the real story of Pocahontas, kids, if you like that Disney shit, because
Notre Dame or any Disney cartoon.
Yeah. Don't look up Hercules either, because
Cinderella. They're all just terrible people.
Yeah, Zeus is kind of a dick.
Kind of is an understatement.
I know. I'm softballing for the children, but
the children.
For the children.
Yeah, but if you're a kid, God help you if you're watching this.
Log off.
Log off. There's a rating on here for a reason. But yeah, solid A, man. This was just fun, and some good scares. Like, actually really good scares. So yeah, solid A for me. Brandon, sir, your final thoughts and grades, sir.
Yeah, no, I love this Scooby-Doo movie. I love, like you mentioned earlier, when like this Scooby-Doo media like kind of just self-referenced itself or makes fun of itself. Like you talked about, like Velma being like, you always go out with Daphne. And I think like even a bit like when Shaggy's driving, like we never see Shaggy driving.
No.
Yeah. It's always Fred. So it's just like, I love the switch up. I love the difference. Like it's still very fun. Like I think at one point Ravencroft says like, you meddling kids, and Fred's like, hey, we're not kids. It's like, come on. Like,
I love that's a sticking point with Fred. He's like, fuck you.
Get out 20.
I graduated college with honors.
But no, yeah, I love how this movie gets supernatural, and like the animation at the end is like crazy cool, especially when he's summoning the witch's ghost, the titular witch's ghost. And yeah, like you said, like she immediately is like, haha, nerd, you thought you could hang with me?
Can't be down with me.
But it was like very fun, like that they're in this, like, because the town was like doing stuff for the attraction for people to come here. And she looks around and is like, not much has changed.
Yeah, which that's savage. Like, I was like,
right,
damn.
yeah. But no, I love this movie so much. I think it's like an A+ for me too. Those Hex Girl songs, amazing Halloween music, and environmental music.
Yeah, catchy as hell too.
Super catchy, and yeah, I just another great Scooby-Doo movie. A+.
All right, Jamarco, what you got?
It's an F. No, I'm kidding. No, this is it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know people want us to hate, but Hunter brought me on to talk about good movies. So, yeah, it's an A. I'm totally going off of nostalgia and just how much I love this movie, like everybody said. And another thing I'll bring up is just a cool thing about these movies that we mentioned. They always go to cool locations like Zombie Islands in New Orleans. This is in Massachusetts, and then Alien Invaders. They go to New Mexico, so they get a lot of real world jokes out of it. I love the mayor again. I love the ghost. There's a lot of fun. It's a great, like I said, introduction to horror for kids. I'd say like 6 or older. Sit them down, watch some Scooby-Doo movies. Great a great mood too. Just a great vibe because witches are just always really interesting to dive into. I think out of all the horror subgenres, witches are really like the most interesting, and there's so much lore you can pull from that. There's so many takes on it, and and shout out to the Hex Girls. And if anybody's listening, I would love to hear Paramore, Evanescence cover one of these songs. So
let's go. Jamarco,
so if any
you might have
girl rock bands want to cover Hex Girls.
Let's
do that.
Dude, I think you just and honestly, if there are
I just broke Hunter's brain.
Yeah, that like, oh my gosh, yeah, my brain was like, oh my god, I never considered that. Yeah, oh my god, yeah, let's make that happen. And
Haley, if you're listening, because I know she is.
Yeah, oh yeah, Haley's a fan. Haley,
fan of the show.
Yeah, fan of the show.
Do a little Hex Girls next time you're on tour.
Come on, please.
Yeah.
I'll buy it. Spotify it, whatever.
All that.
Great movie, by the way. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, which is
yeah, that would rule. But yeah, A's across. I'll go up to an A plus. Yeah, Brandon. Yeah,
everybody's
Brandon
A plus.
Yeah, A plus. Like, I can't. There's no justification for it not to be.
If you don't like Scooby-Doo, you suck.
That's it. Sorry, guys.
But A plus is for Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and we're closing out with one more Scooby-Doo film, which is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Before we get to that, just real quick segue, little quick break here. Shout out to Agatha All Along and shout out to the Penguin. Both shows are killing it for me right now. So
don't spoil Agatha, not caught up.
Oh yeah, no spoilers. So I am 2 episodes behind on the Penguin. I am gonna change that tonight. So I'm literally gonna go, like, after we hop off here, I'm gonna go at least watch one of the episodes. But everyone I've talked to, it's just like, dude, you have. I'm like, I know. Like, I'm trying to catch up on everything, people. I'm trying. But
Kristen Milioti, that's the post. That's it.
But everything I've seen from both shows, I'm just like, man, like, so no spoilers, but for Agatha, the costumes, like, I don't think costumes get nearly enough credit. The costumes have been fantastic on that show. And number 2 on the Penguin, the costumes again. Oh my god, everyone looks fucking clean. Gotham just looks like it's like I'm watching The Wire. It's just like, god damn, like, Gotham just seems like the most horrible place in the world. And if you were in an intersection in Gotham, you would immediately like do what you could to like jump out of your car or but Colin Farrell, like, oh my god, that show is just
unreal.
That show's unreal. That y'all know my love for the Batman. I do think it is the
no, say it. Say what you just
second or third best Batman film, and I say that because I go back and forth between that, Mask of the Phantasm, and maybe a hot take. Y'all don't give Return of the Joker nearly enough credit.
Wow! So you're not a Dark Knight guy at all?
Yeah. It's 4. It's 4.
Wow.
I like unconventional.
So I'd maybe go.
You're an animation kid. I get it.
So I'd maybe go Phantasm, the Batman, Return of the Joker, and then Dark Knight is probably how I'd go.
Not mad at it.
Yeah.
What's with it?
The return, the scene where Batman or Bruce Wayne is crying at his parents' grave in Mask of the Phantasm is maybe the best Batman scene that I've ever seen, because he's like begging them, like, I want to be happy and not do this. Please let me not do this. And oh my god, that shit! The look on Alfred's face when he sees him in the cowl for oh my god, that movie just it's fucking perfect. fucking love Mask of the Phantasm.
Funny, recently, like, they posted that scene, or like shots from that scene, and they're like, Bruce needs to visit his parents' graves more in movies. Just like,
he never goes to do that.
Yeah, he not doesn't be extended scene like that. It could, like, don't even have to be talking, but just like,
have mourning.
Exactly.
Standing there like, god, it sucks.
He does it in Batman the Telltale series, which is another hot Batman take. That might be my favorite iteration of Batman outside the animated series. Like,
somebody on Twitter is gonna kick your ass.
Dude, what Telltale does with Batman is fucking amazing. What do you do with the Penguin and fucking Vicky Vale? Like,
I say this as I have an Arkham City shirt on.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, love those games too.
I mean, Arkham City is still one of my favorite gaming experiences that I've ever had. Fuck you, Rocksteady, for that Man-Bat scare, which is still like, god.
I remember Brandon and I were playing it, and we had no idea. We were in a dark room. It was just surround sound and dark. And when that shit happened, I think we needed a breather. I was like, okay,
we can stop. We can play something else.
So I legit looked down, put weed in my bowl, looked up, and the Man-Bat thing was right there. Scared the fuck out of me. Like I needed 15 minutes. I was like, you son, like I was, oh my god. But yeah, shout out to the Penguins, shout out to Agatha all along. Both shows are killing it, and I will have reviews. I'll have a review for Agatha on Halloween next week, and then I don't know when the Penguin ends. Actually, I don't know.
Left.
Yeah,
3 episodes left. Okay, so that'd be like November. So yeah, I'll have them back on to review that. But the Penguin, I'm loving that shit. Yeah. So so Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Brandon, I'm gonna let you set this one up, man. Because this is another one I hadn't seen.
What?
I know, like I know, like man, you're so funny. It's like I rarely feel like shame is an emotion. I'm like, whatever. Whenever Brandon Jamarco is just like, dude, you haven't seen that. A little bit of shame gets through. Just like a little bit.
I'm not going to share the movie that you should watch that you haven't seen yet, but
I know Goodfellas. I know I haven't seen. I know.
Yes,
I know
America.
people.
Tell him to watch Goodfellas.
I know. I haven't watched Goodfellas yet. I know. All right. But
sorry, I didn't mean to put you on Front Street like that.
No. You're good, man. But yeah, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Very. I'll at least set up the premise, and Brandon, I'll let you go. But Mystery Inc. gets sucked into a computer. That's essentially like boom, set up, nailed it.
Is it like Velma's friend? Somebody's like, hey, my friend works at a fucking science lab.
I mean, that's how it always is. Like you look back at Scooby-Doo episodes, whether new or old, wherever they're going, it's like, oh, it's our old friend from blank. Oh, it's like our cousin. It's our uncle. It's always
our high school cousin's friend dated one
You're
time.
Not wrong.
And you're never going to see that character again ever. So
Randall.
That's actually a fair point.
That's the gist. They get stuck into a computer.
But hey, it gets us on the journey. But we go ahead and we end up getting they end up getting sucked into a video game that is ironically enough created specifically for them. What I'll say about this is kind of out the gate. I didn't really know what the gimmick was going to be on this. It was just kind of like, okay, 2001. So, to date myself, I think about fucking
computers.
Exactly. I think about those fucking like bubble iMacs. That's like the first thing I think of because those things were fucking irritating. Yeah. I think about that shit. But back in 01, to date myself here, MySpace was just a thing. That you had AOL, you had instant messengers. That was a big,
a lot of good memories I can't talk about on the show.
right? Like, so like a lot of very early tech, and it's crazy to think about how kind of ahead of the game this is, because when you think about like what like viruses and all that, the way they actually explain it, it's actually very like coherent given how new everything is. You're just like, like a virus takes over, it kind of wipes everything out. And when they lay it out like that, you're kind of like, oh, that's simple. Yeah, that actually makes sense. But they do a good job of making the virus actually look very creepy. It's kind of freakazoid-ish.
The blue, Static Shock looking, Electro. I thought about Electro.
Okay, so what's so funny? That's the note I have here. Is it made me think of the MTV Spider-Man, which if you have not seen that, y'all, that's on Hulu. Disney Plus, And oh man, that Electro origin is fucking tragic as shit. Like that's what they should do if they ever do Electro again, because goddamn, that shit's scary. But
somebody famous voiced it. They had a lot of famous pop stars on their show. I think like Rob Zombie voiced the Lizard.
That's
wild. Really?
Yeah, look at the Spider-Man MTV cast. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Okay. Now, so while I do that, Brandon, if you want to go ahead and fill in some gaps, sir.
Okay, yeah. So when I was rewatching this, I noticed how kind of different it is, at least from Zombie Island and Witch's Ghost. There's no opening mystery with the gang, not even an opening song. We don't get the Scooby-Doo song until 20 minutes into this. And I was like, all right, this is weird, different, but no, it kind of takes itself a little more seriously at first with this cold open with the scientists, the students, the people they're going to go visit. And that's where we see the origin of the cyber ghost. I don't even know what they call him in this.
The Phantom Virus.
There you go, the Phantom Virus.
Well done. Top marks.
We see how the Phantom Virus gets out of the computer, and I love how they visualize him sucking the data out of the computers. It's like a blue haze, and it's like a bunch of ones and zeros like going in there.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
And I was like, all right, yeah, why not? It's 2000.
That's how it works. That's what happens.
Yeah,
people aren't going to check this shit. Like,
but this is our inciting incident. This is what gets the gang there. But the gang doesn't even know about the ghost until they get there.
They're just hanging out.
Exactly. And there's like they want to go see Randall because he created a Scooby-Doo video game of them. And yeah, that's how we get there. Cyber Ghost or Phantom Ghost, sorry.
Phantom Virus.
Phantom Virus.
God, Brandon.
Like you mentioned earlier, very kind of like creepy design. Like that smile is like always on.
The smile's unnerving. The smile is very,
very, I don't know how to describe it, but just like you said, Freakazoid-esque.
90s face.
Very 90s face. Triangle chin, all that. Yeah.
Wow, that was actually good. That's how every villain in the 90s just look with a big old smile. Just,
But like Marco mentioned with the other movies, unlike this one, the unique setting in this is inside the computer, inside the game. So like that's where we get our dealing with real shit, like
our hijinks.
Exactly. Scooby-Doo and them are inside a game, and they have to Mario it. They have to Donkey Kong it. Get the Scooby-Doo snacks and complete the level. Don't let the Phantom Virus get them. And of course, there's something nefarious going on the outside. It's kind of like almost a whodunit, because there's a scene where the scientist is like, the security guy's like, now what I don't understand is who turned on the button to get them into the game? And he's like, good question, my friend. I don't know what that computer guy actually.
That was good. Goddamn, like you can't
it was
do
kind of like
a
Germanish kind of like.
My friend, it could be one of us steady room, and it's like, but we know it's the guy with the baseball hat. Spoilers, but this is probably the most obvious kind of we know who did it in these movies.
So real quick, back to Jamarco, in terms of bringing up Spider-Man, that animated series, Gina Gershon, Rob Zombie was Kurt Connors, top marks on that. Fucking Clancy Brown was in here. James Marsters, he voiced Craven, which I did not recognize that voice at all.
Michael Clark comes back as Kingpin.
Yeah, fucking Cree Summer is in here as Professor Williams.
Cree Summer, I love you so much.
Like Jane Lynch is in here. Ed Asner. I was like, what the like going through the list? I was like, what the fuck?
Well, Ed Asner, he's an OG. He was the OG Jameson, remember?
Yeah, but I was just like, but he's an officer in here. But I was just like, Sushin Pak is in here. I was like, what the fuck? This is
great. It's on TV.
So props
Sway would show up.
I mean, Sway would show up. Yeah, man.
No, seriously, Sway showed up on the show.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go back.
It's only one season. You guys can watch it.
Oh yeah, I'll get through it. But
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, who does a great job as Spider-Man. But Jamarco, sir, you're what did you remember about this before on rewatch?
Well, I'll tell you this one because I think this was 01. Yeah, I was kind of getting away from the Scooby a little bit. This is the Scooby movie I've seen the least.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I would catch it when it was on Cartoon Network, but 2001, I'm like playing Tony Hawk, you know.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I wasn't. Scooby was I kind of graduated away, and plus, you know, Cartoon Network was happening, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab. That's where I was at. So this is the one I've seen the least, but yeah, it's the kind of one that feels, I don't want to say off, but yeah, it's definitely a different style, different swag, and yeah, they just get into a computer and just got to find out how.
We keep saying that they get into a computer.
Well, I don't want to make it seem they just pop into a computer because, you know. Like I said, somebody presses the button and they get, they get troned, as I say. Yeah,
very much.
Yeah, they get troned. And yeah, and instead of doing what I would do when someone made a video game about me, ask for some money or some copyright infringement, they're just cool with it. They're like, "Oh, you made a
they're
video game about
totally
us?
fine.
They just want to
Cool.
play. That's it.
You know,
Not like,
Nintendo. You know,
do we get a
Nintendo would
cut?
watch this and be like, "What?
Do we get a cut? Do I get like 20% for my likeness? Like, you know?"
You get
And,
to
you
play
know,
the game first.
yeah, but you know, and then the story gets so crazy that this ends up, you know, spoiler alert for a movie that came out in 2001.
Oh yeah, we're fine. Yeah,
you're adults.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so they end up having a little Spider-Verse moment and beat their old avatars in the video game.
I love. So that was something. You know, so funny. As many like fucking like theory videos I do on like Marvel and DC shit, you would think I would think that they would do this, and it just didn't even cross my mind. So when I saw Shaggy in the red shirt, I was like, oh shit, let's go. I was like, that's fucking clever.
Yeah, they go all this is end game for Scooby-Doo nerds because they bring out old Scooby-Doo villains like the Creeper and Jaguar. I don't remember Jaguar, but he looks awesome. Like some of these I don't remember.
But he's like a bare body, but a jaguar head.
Yeah, that was sick.
So I gotta say, that was my biggest like, what the fuck? Because I think we have to frame it in the terms of the time. Because like back, you know, now you get crossovers with fucking everyone. Everyone crosses over. But you know, I still remember watching the Spider-Man on Fox animated show, and when the X-Men showed up, I was like, holy shit, what? I was like, the X-Men are here? Like shit like that. Like when Superman shows up on Batman the Animated Series, you're like, what the fuck is that? Like
Static Shock.
Yeah, like shit like that was like for a kid, you know, in the 90s, early 2000s, that was just like unfathomable to people.
For my generation, we had this thing. Do you remember when the Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron cross forces? The Jimmy Power Hour.
Yep. I totally remember that.
That was there were so many crossovers. Like I remember what Disney would do, like Sweet Life and Hannah Montana, and like all of that shit. Like, I think like Cartoon Network would do it all the time. Cartoon Network was cool because they would do like commercials where like everybody just lived in this world.
Like they were just like living in the same area.
You would see Samurai Jack hanging out with fucking Powerpuff Girls, and it was great. They're just little spots like that. Like that's what was so cool about cartoons, is like the limitlessness of it. And clearly we still see it now with, you know, Spider-Verse, and still you know, Abbott Elementary and Always Sunny is happening.
Yeah.
So, you know, people love a good people just love the two different things that should work but does work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what this actually does act like is like really a celebration of the brand, because you do get all of those old school, like I was freaking out when I started seeing all these villains. I was like, oh shit, it's you. The Creeper was the one. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like it's such a cool like reminder of how far the property has come. And when you see that old, admittedly jankier looking animation, it's cool because like there's such a charm to it. Like there's such a charm to that like 60s, 70s Hanna-Barbera like vibe. You know, that's why something like Space Ghost Coast to Coast holds up so well, because they barely update it. Like they barely update it.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
What was the one? C-Lab 2021?
Yeah. I mean, same thing. Like, but it's been one of those properties, like seeing Shaggy and Scooby like have a ridiculous meal together, and seeing like Fred like kind of almost have to like recognize like, oh wow, you do kind of have a thing for Daphne because you're constantly you're constantly doing things to try to go ahead and help. Like just these sort of moments where like they literally get to self-reflect. It's like, oh wow, this really oh my
god, I dress like shit.
What's the meaning? Got that shit on.
I love that. I love kind of real like oh wow, I thought this was cool. Like
oh my god, I smoked so much weed back then.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, and they don't come right out and say it, but they definitely like at multiple times hint at that, like, oh wow, you are way hungrier, you know, in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, and it's like, okay.
Wow,
like,
your stats is like way stronger than ours.
Yeah, that was the one I went, okay, that's like, all right, show. I like
Plus, then Shaggy's like, here, try this. It's called Mango Kush.
Yeah, on your ass.
Yeah, here's a vape pen. But
what?
But
button.
but again, with the whole MacGuffin in this one, like there's a sequence where they have to go ahead and get the Scooby snack box, and there's like a pterodactyl involved, like it's like this back in.
Oh yeah, they go to Dinosaur Land.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was way more in that sequence than I thought I had any right to be. Like the actual tension, like it's the beginning of the movie. Obviously, they're not gonna lose. Like no fucking duh. But like the pterodactyl almost gets burned. I'm like, and look, I'll admit these goddamn cats have melted my cold stone heart a bit. So anytime I see animals in peril now, I'm way more sensitive to it. So I'm like, don't hurt the pterodactyl. It didn't do anything.
Well, they don't exist, so you're fine.
It's a digital baby pterodactyl.
Right.
They all died millions of years ago.
Right. Yeah.
There's no Jurassic World happening.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
exactly. Yeah.
Elon Musk isn't building a raptor, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean that would involve taking care of a kid, but but yeah, fuck you, Elon. But getting the final.
There goes our Tesla advertisement.
Yeah, right. That's the last thing I'd fuck. I'd rather have a Little Debbie advertisement than fucking Tesla. At least.
Hey, I'll take a Little Debbie advertisement.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, no. I wasn't being snarky. Little Debbie is like a way better product than fucking Tesla.
This episode of Real Pineapples brought to you by Honey Buns.
Yeah, right.
It's a Honey Bun endorsement.
Right? Yeah, come on, Honey Buns.
Ice Glaze Honey Buns. Send me some.
But I gotta say, getting again, I hadn't seen this. This is the first time watch for me as well. I have not seen so the last one I need to watch is Alien Invasion. I have not seen that one yet. So that
get ready to cry.
So that'll end up being probably later this week. But man, like it is really kind of amazing that these work so well. I don't like this as much as I like Witch's Ghost or Zombie Island, but I still really enjoyed this. So I'd go B plus on this. Yeah, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this, but compared to the other two, I was more invested in those. So but still really solid stuff. So yeah, B plus for me. Jamarco, final thoughts and grades, sir.
Sure. I'm gonna go with a B as well because as much as I like this one, I love Zombie Island and Witch's Ghost and Alien Invasion much more. Because if you get stuck in a video game, you'll be fine. But like if you're fighting zombies or you'll
be fine.
Next to Ghost. Yeah, you'll be fine. You can delete. It's okay. It's all fine.
Yeah, you got Game Genie. You're fine. Yeah,
get somebody to restore your backup hard drive. Call one of the scientists. Yeah. You're okay.
Yeah, you're good.
No, I say that, but not just to be real. Like, it's fun. Yeah, the video game aesthetic is fun, and the nostalgia is fun. But like for me, it's like they only spent time hanging out in like 3 video games. Like the rest was like a montage because we saw like Dinosaur Land and we saw Roman Empire Land. It's like, okay, shit. How much time we got left? Okay, we got to go through all these video games.
Basically, yeah.
Samurai Land, Copland,
Underwater.
Somebody play a pop song. So
I was have underwater level.
Yeah, and then the villain was like, Phantom Virus. Excuse me. Yeah, he seemed a little too easy to catch. I'm like, this is supposed to be a pretty virus. Catch to keep fucking with him. Like even the zombies and the witches didn't have this much of a time. Like he's just. He's getting clobbered. So, with all that being said, like, it's still a fun time. I don't want people to think I just hate this movie.
No.
Clearly being in jest. So, Cyber Chase is a good time. It's a B. And another thing I'll say about, the human characters were a little weak in this one. Because, because in the, the previous movies, we had memorable characters like, Zombie Island has a whole bunch, like, I can do the whole Creole voice there. Like the fucking ship guy's like, yeah, you gotta go to the bayou, you gotta be careful of that mojo over there, like that guy.
The big guy with the wild hog. Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Damn tourist. Yeah, all that. Like, and then the mayor from Witch's Ghost, and then I'm not gonna spoil it for Hunter. I haven't seen Alien Invaders yet, but there are some very great side characters in there that are very effective. And in here we just got like a baseball dude, a Doc Brown type scientist, and like Paul Blart. So I was like, oh, we gotta hang out with them again. So
yeah.
But with that being said, still a fun time. Still a great love letter to Scooby-Doo as a whole. Seeing the past and the present, because this is the 2000s. They're in the digital age now, so it makes sense. It's like, all right, 2000s, new era, new animation. We got to go computers. So it definitely feels like the end of one era and then the beginning of another. The 90s traditional animation, and then we go into the 2000s digital, CGI phase.
Yeah,
that was way deeper than I thought it was going to be.
No, man.
That was great.
Yeah, that's good, man. Brandon, your final thoughts and grades, sir.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I think I give this like a B+. I do love it. I think I loved it more as a kid because, oh my gosh, inside a computer. But the shining light of this movie is them meeting digital but also older versions of themselves and like interacting like that. Like that's the big highlight. And it's fun. Like I think this has been done in Scooby-Doo comics. Like there's been like the different eras like meeting it like each other. There's been like Scooby-Doo into the Scooby-verse, if you will. But
I want to read it.
Right. Like I would love for them to do that in an animated project, like mixing in the different Scooby eras, like A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated.
Would you throw in the live action movies?
Yes. Even though Matthew Lillard is already voicing Shaggy and like everything now, just do it.
Which anyway. I love that for him.
But no, I love this movie. Like it's still like a great like part of this era of real shit happening to the gang. My like biggest gripes is like waiting, like not enough songs. Like I always love the song.
Yeah,
not bangers. Not a lot of bangers there.
Not enough memorable bangers in this. Way too long to hear the Scooby-Doo theme.
Who even sang the Scooby-Doo theme? Because that's important.
In this one, I'm not sure. I couldn't. Of course, some 2000s people. You can probably look it up for me.
I'm looking it up right now.
I do really enough. I do remember they made a video game of this movie, and I remember like always playing the demo whenever going to like a store, but never owning this game. So that's another just member berry, just nostalgia for you with this. But no, it's a fun time. Like I think if you are watching these sets of movies, you have to watch this one. Another great meta moment is when like Fred is like, all right, guys, look like we're gonna have to split up to look for this phantom virus, and then Shaggy and Scooby already like walk off, and he's like, hey, I didn't tell you how we were gonna split up. And Shaggy's like, do we ever split up any other way?
Like, yeah.
It's like, oh, you're right.
We've been doing this for 30 years, man.
Yeah.
I laughed very hard at that. I was like, that is a completely valid.
What if I said split up with Velma? Were you going to say split up with Velma? I might have.
But like you mentioned, like, yeah, this is kind of celebration. This movie came out 30-ish years after the original series. So yeah, it's great to see them pay respect to the old age. And I learned this today. I'm today years old to find out this movie has a post-credit scene where
what?
Yeah, where the cast, the Scooby Gang talks about their favorite parts in the movie.
Oh,
like
shit.
the characters or like the actors?
Yeah, the characters. Yeah, Velma's like, my favorite part was blank, but yeah. So check that out if you
meta.
Yeah, very meta, very weird.
Very Dora the Explorer.
But yeah, it's fun to have that, like them talking about that. But yeah, Saber Chase is fun. Like I agree with Marco, don't care about those human characters at all.
Yeah.
Scooby Gang is the big highlight for this one. But yeah, it's fun time.
Boom. Indeed. So yeah, B+, and a B for Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Yeah. So y'all, we are getting out of here, but before I let y'all go. Little order of business here. So, currently, you see there on the screen my streaming schedule for the rest of the week. So tomorrow I will be talking about AEW Dynamite from this past week, where I was there in San Jose. Going to talk about my experience, talk about the matches, preview Wednesday night's Dynamite. So I will be be talking to y'all tomorrow, and then I will be streaming Resident Evil 4 once again. God help me. Why do I? I shared the clip already on my socials, but there was this zombie popping out of a cabinet that scared the ever living fuck out of me, and oh man, I was not a fan of that. So we'll see how tomorrow goes, since I'm out of the village section. And then on the 26th, which is that Saturday? Yeah, Saturday, I'll also be streaming Resident Evil 4, and then I'm gonna stream some other film. I haven't decided what I'm gonna stream yet. I might stream Trap. That movie.
Yeah.
That'll probably be
it hits HBO Friday.
Yeah. I need to stop renting shit, because it seems like whenever I rent stuff, it's like, oh, it's hitting streaming now. I'm like, fuck
That's
you.
Why I didn't want to buy Alien Romulus, because I'm like, it'll be on Hulu soon.
Yeah, very soon.
That's fair, and yeah, I'm happy it'll be on streaming, but fuck. Anyway,
if you can buy it, buy it. That's all.
Yeah, there you go. And then still doing more Halloween stuff for the rest of the month. Oh god, I'm looking through my reviews, and oh god, there's so much. So just a few things. It'll be next Monday. But I will have a review up for The Last of Us season 1. I will be gonna be finishing that up. What else am I know there's other shit. Oh yeah, a couple Treehouse of Horror episodes I reviewed with Bradley Martin. Shout out to Canada. Have my Maxine review up. Have a review up. Have a review up for Mother's Instinct, which was fucking horrifying, especially how that movie ends. Have a review up. It's more of a thriller, but goddamn it, it's my film series, so fuck you. I'm gonna be having gonna be reviewing that film, Femme, which came out, which is about that drag queen who gets assaulted and beaten down, and then goes ahead and seduces their captor and decides whether they want to kill them or not. It's fucking fantastic. If you've not watched Femme,
what a premise.
Jamarco, oh man, it's got one of my favorite intro scenes for a character in a film this year. So if you have not checked it out, I would highly recommend you do. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have a review for Blackwater Lane. That is up on you can stream that on Peacock right now, so that's up. And then I'll also have a review up for Abigail and Azrael before the end of the month.
Abigail.
Azrael is gonna really piss some people off, but to be completely honest, that's kind of why I like it more. So
get on it. Can't wait to watch it.
But I will talk about that more. Oh yeah, and I'll review for Your Monster this weekend. That's the other one. Yeah, I watched that yesterday, and I have lots of thoughts on it. So yeah, but before we get out of here, Jamarco, if you could please let the people know where they can find you, where they can listen to your stuff.
Where to find me and to listen to my stuff? Well, I'm on Facebook, Jamarco Shaw, capital M. I'm the guy with the thriller avatar, little thriller werewolf for Halloween festivities. SoundCloud.com/Icky. That is where I make music. I've made the theme music that you were hearing earlier. Mr. Hunter here. And I have a whole bunch of other fun stuff, mashups, remixes, DJ sets, instrumentals, albums, mixtapes, EPs. If you are a fan of the stylings of Kanye West, Jay Dilla, Madlib, Q-Tip.
He's better than...
Yeah, hell
What's
yeah.
That?
He's better than all those guys.
Oh, no. I can only hope. I can only aspire to
definitely better than recent Kanye.
I'll kick 2024 Kanye's ass any day of the week. But if you want to hear cool sampling music, I'm doing this series every weekend. I remix a horror score. I did Candyman, I did Get Out, I did Frankenstein. So that's happening right now. No big albums this year, but I'm always working on something. I'm always putting up a beat or a remix or something. So check it out if you love music. Everybody's a Critic, my own little review show where we do the director deep dive. Taking a little bit of hiatus right now, but we'll be back soon. Got to finish off this Edgar Wright series. So be on the lookout for that. But the past episodes are up on my YouTube. I'm working on audio, working on how to get that on the SoundCloud right now. But yeah, I'm out here writing, making music, just hanging out, reviewing. I'm usually talking to these guys every day.
That's true. Yeah.
If you see me in the chat, say what's up. If you see me anywhere, just say hi. I'm usually talking about some movie I'm watching, and I'm on Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd, Jamarco Shaw, JamarcoShaw, all one word. And thank you for having me, Hunter. And yeah, vote and free Palestine.
Perfectly said. And I will say, as someone who's on Letterboxd often, Jamarco is a great follow. So I will, and Jamarco, the stuff that Jamarco's created for the podcast has been amazing and makes my shit look somewhat professional. So yeah, like check out all his shit. It's all wonderful. Brandon, sir, if you can tell the people.
You can find me on this show whenever Hunter has me on again. Find me on Twitters, childish_Brando. You can find me on Letterboxd at Brando Not Marland. I'm still trying to do my 31 days of Halloween movies. I've never done it before because I always miss out, but I think I'm doing pretty good so far, honestly.
Oh yeah. I'm watching a lot of shit too. Yeah.
So yeah, no, if you want to follow me on there, I post reviews bearing links, sometimes jokes, sometimes just full length reviews. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
Boom. I will say before we got here too. Oh yeah, that was the other one. Woman of the Year.
Or Woman of the Hour.
Woman of the Hour. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm watching that right after this.
I was confusing Man of the Year, that Robin Williams movie, with like, I could combine them somehow. But yeah, Woman of the Hour. That review will be up tomorrow. I don't know, y'all. That might crack the top 10. That might crack the top 5, honestly.
These acting directors, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. It's a hell of a movie, man. I got a lot of love for
So
Kendrick.
is she your favorite acting director now? Is she up there? Has she joined the Jonah Hill? I almost said Olivia Wilde ranks, but she fucked up. Don't worry, darling.
We still like Booksmart.
We like Booksmart. I like Booksmart.
Oh yeah, I love Booksmart. I had the same feeling watching this that I had watching Michael B. Jordan in Creed 3, where I was just like, you're kind of just nailing this.
Okay.
So it's a matter now. Yeah. So now it's a matter of like where the movie potentially lands. But I'm also kind of struggling with like, do I start doing redoing lists now, or do I like kind of wait till later in the year? Like, yes, I don't know, but that review will be up, y'all, because that's something that people do need to watch. But
I will say Blink Twice is my answer to that question.
Ooh, so that's on the list for this week. I'll probably get to that Friday.
Zoe went crazy. That's all I'll say.
Did she? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna try to go see Saturday Night tomorrow morning.
Ooh,
I'm gonna see how I'm feeling. I'm very tired, so I might just end up watching. I might just end up catching up on like the 8 other things I feel like I need to watch. But we'll see, people. I will keep y'all updated. Oh yeah, and then other reviews. Wicked will be coming up here soon.
Gladiator 2.
Oh yeah, I'm literally seeing Gladiator 2 at 8:30 in the morning on that Friday morning. So
okay, nice.
So I already have my ticket. Oh yeah, and then Venom is out this Friday, so I'll reveal for Venom.
The Last Dance.
Yeah, so so lots of stuff coming down the pipeline, y'all. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, take care of each other. Go vote for the love of everything in this world. Please go vote. I am begging you, please go vote.
Oh God.
Okay. And in case it wasn't obvious from the intro video, there's one very obvious choice that you should not vote for. And it's a guy who was slinging fries yesterday. So,
Sending fries. I want to put that out there. That was a publicity.
Come on, guys, vote for Kamala. That way, those pictures can be so hilarious when he loses.
Exactly.
I'm gonna meme the fuck out of those. Come on.
Yeah, and and I would just like to point out that McDonald's apparently had multiple health violations, so that's neither.
Vote for Kamala so Maya Rudolph can stay on SNL.
There you go. Exactly. And you know, like, so that democracy can be slightly. Secondary to Maya Rudolph's check, but obviously
exactly. But you know, let's not be mistaken. Equal of importance. Last thing. By the end of probably in December-ish, I'll have a review for Shrinking seasons 1 and 2. Oh, nice.
I have not watched Shrinking yet. I've heard nothing but great things.
I gotta get on it.
Yeah, but I know season 2 is back, I think, Wednesday. So I'm gonna end up just binging both back to back and reviewing both. So everyone, thank you so much for listening. Please stay safe out there. Take care of each other. Jamarco, Brandon, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate y'all. And never forget, as always, to keep it real. Have a good one, y'all. We will talk to you soon.
Peace.